When it comes to self-defense, when it comes to personal protection, you need to know the limitations of the tool. I'm going to tell you a variety of tools, what I like, what I don't like, what you should use, what you shouldn't use. My name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer. You might recognize me from Shark Tank, the NBC Today Show, Fox News, and a whole bunch of others. But that's not here what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the limitations of the tool.
Please welcome back former CIA officer Jason Hanson.
Former CIA Jason Hanson.
This handsome fella is Jason Hanson.
Okay. This is Jason Hanson, former CIA guy.
Personal protection is incredibly important to me. It's what I've devoted my life to. I've got a wife and 6 kids. I obviously want to make sure they're safe. And with the crazy, crazy world that we live in, you got to take personal protection seriously. I was just on the phone with a woman very recently. She lives in Chicago. And she was telling me about their hug a thug concept, meaning everybody just says in Chicago, clearly they don't prosecute crimes. Criminals are not afraid. So they go into stores and just rob them blindly. They go into Walmart, wherever, some jewelry store, because they know they're going to get a slap on the wrist and that no prosecutor is really going to do anything. So they are fearless, which is why people are terrified on the streets, which is why I get 1,000,001 calls about, hey, what should I do to protect myself? You know, what weapon should I carry? Hey, I live here where I can't have a gun. So let's talk about the limitations of the tools and what tools I recommend. A gun. I love guns. They're wonderful. It's the #1 weapon I recommend for home defense. It's the #1 weapon I recommend for most people. So what are the limitations of a gun? Well, let's see. Good part is I can come out and shoot, meaning I don't have to be directly up on the guy, so you can use it as a distance. Depending on what gun you own, it's got, 10. Well, if you live in a communist place, it's got 10. But if you live in a real state, you can have 21 rounds or 18 rounds or whatever amount of ammo your gun takes. Guns, you have to be more aware and responsible for, meaning if you have a home invasion, if criminals coming down your hallway, you come out to shoot, you've got to realize what is beyond that criminal. Meaning, if I miss, am I going to hit my kid's room? Am I going to hit my mother-in-law's room? Am I going to hit, maybe I live in an apartment and just go right through my neighbor? A gun takes more thinking. You obviously can't just walk around and just pop rounds off like crazy because that's not responsible gun ownership. A lot of people I train say, hey, I live in a crazy place like Chicago where I can't have guns or where it's impossible to concealed carry permits. Well, then a knife is a wonderful, wonderful weapon. So what are the limitations of a knife? Let's say you're doing a knife that is a folder, meaning a traditional pocket knife. Great, wonderful, I love them. You can come out and slash, you can come out and jab straight out. You can do a lot of damage. Even in most crazy places like Chicago, New York City, if it's under 4 inches or 3 inches and knife laws are all over, you can still have some type of knife. And this is a smaller blade knife for people that I train in areas that are crappy. Again, the Chicagos, the Baltimore cities of the world. So they can still come out and defend themselves and protect themselves with this. With a knife, it doesn't take a ton of training because all of us know how to slash, all of us know how to stab, all of us can stab in the face, the throat, the eyes, etc. So it doesn't require 10 years and a black belt. Now, limitations on a folding knife are that you have to take the time to flip it open. So for instance, here is a fixed blade knife that we have. This is called the Berserker blade, great little fixed blade knife. A lot of people carry. Now with this, you can still clip it inside the waistband. You can still clip it to your hip, your pocket. But once it comes out, you don't have to waste any time to flip it open because this is a fixed blade. Now, the beauty of fixed blade too is they are stronger than a folding knife because they don't have any pivot points. It's a solid piece of metal that runs from the tip all the way to the edge. So most people in self-defense don't have to worry about it snapping off, meaning we're not using this for survival. We're not using this to pry open a car door. So in self-defense, both fixed blades and folders are going to do wonderful. They're going to be able to stop an attacker. You're going to be able to slash. You're going to be able to punch out, stab, etc. But you have to think about, okay, do I want to worry about taking that extra second to flip open my folder, or do I want to carry a small fixed blade such as this one? That way I know as soon as the knife comes out, it's good to go. I'm ready to defend myself. That's obviously a choice you have to make. You have to figure out. Let's think about other tools. Somebody said to me the other day, hey, I'm just going to use a pencil for self-defense. I can carry that pretty much anywhere. Well, obviously, a pencil in the eye is not going to feel good. So if you had a pencil in reverse grip, you come out and jab it in somebody's face or throat, not going to feel good, and it's certainly better than nothing. But the limitations of a pencil, it can clearly snap in half. It's not the world's most strongest thing. So what I recommend instead is a tactical pen. Tactical pens are made of solid metal. It is a regular writing pen. You pull the cap off here. I can clip to my pants pocket. But it's got this, nasty little point where if I'm coming out and jabbing it in somebody's face, chest, throat, it's going to stop them. I had a student who was attacked at a gas station, should I say almost attacked at a gas station. He grabbed his tactical, pen came out, jabbed the guy right in the chest. The guy went down, he was able to get away to safety, and the police came and arrested the attacker. He was unharmed, which is obviously awesome. So instead of using some kind of big plastic pen that can snap in half, instead of using a pencil that is easily breakable, use a better, higher quality pen. Because I've flown all over the world with this tactical pen. I've been in numerous places, government buildings, courthouses, etc. And I do, by the way, I take this cap off and put it around on this end so they can see it's a pen. And when I'm going other places, that way it's crystal clear it's a pen. But I've been pretty much everywhere with this thing. Now, what are the limitations of a tactical pen? Well, it's not a gun, so I can't sit here and shoot bullets. It's a more close quarters weapon because, again, the person's got to be right up on me so I can jab. Whether it's whatever way I'm jabbing, it doesn't matter. So that are the limitations of the pen. The benefits are that I can carry it virtually anywhere and always have some type of self-defense tool with me. Plus, a benefit of this is if I'm walking down the street and I feel uncomfortable, I can take this out of my pocket and already have it in my hand. Whereas with a gun, I can't walk around the street like, okay, I kind of feel nervous, this looks like a bad area. And same thing with a knife, I can't pull out my knife and walk down the street like this, like a crazy person. But I can casually walk with a tactical pen in my hand like this, which I have done personally when I've been in less than ideal areas. So we got to think about limitations. What about a machete? Great big blade. I love machetes, kukris, wonderful items. Tomahawks I love. I have students use them for home defense because they don't feel comfortable with a gun. So they're using a kukri, they're using a tomahawk, which is great because for home defense, if you're not going to use a gun, you want to use something that's intimidating, something you can wield and do some nasty damage. You don't want a smaller pocket knife if you're using a blade for home defense because don't have as much reach. There's obviously a much smaller blade than if I'm using a machete or a tomahawk, which has a much longer reach. So home defense purposes, you've got to think some crackhead busts into my home at 3 a.m. Obviously he's not there for craps and giggles and to sing kumbaya with me. He's probably got some very, very nefarious intents. That's why I want to use a gun. But if not use a gun, I want a big machete, tomahawk, not a small knife type of thing. So what about stun gun flashlights? I love stun gun flashlights, huge fan of them. Many women I train use them. Beauty of the stun gun flashlight is you push the noise, very intimidating. Hopefully the attacker will think twice. But if they come on you, you just touch them and trust me, it hurts like a son of a gun. Make sure you see my stun gun flashlight video where you see me get zapped and you'll see how bad it hurts. Limitation with the stun gun flashlight, of course, is that it's more like a knife or tactical pen. You've got to be right up on the person instead of, okay, I get to shoot them from several yards, feet, etc. So anytime you're looking at a weapon for personal protection, self-defense, ask yourself, what are the limitations of this tool? And is it the best tool for me? Because obviously we're all different. Every single one of us has a different lifestyle, different circumstances, lives in different areas. So even though I swear by one thing, it might not fit you best. So take some time to think about your personal protection tools. I've gone over several in this video. Figure out what works for you. One I highly recommend, of course, is the Berserker Blade. Go to berserkerblade.com if you want to get one, just because it's small enough to carry in most places. It's great to carry inside the waistband, which means it's highly concealed. Nobody can detect it. And it's designed for stabbing, slashing, and everything. And click the link below if you want to see that too. If you have any questions about personal protection weapons, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on that ring notification bell. But I'm going to say it again, always try and figure out what are the limitations of the weapon, what works best for me. I am former CIA officer Jason Hanson. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy your weekend. But is it the weekend? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Enjoy the rest of your day.